Hey, how are you today? So here I am for another message in this week. And before we start and dive deep, there is a reason that I'm only doing this today. So yesterday I already recorded the video and had the full message prepared and everything, but it was not meant to come out into the world. I was feeling super low on energy. I will explain also why, and maybe some of you also felt it. Um, yeah, and I tried to put this message out there, and then when I put it, it got doubled, and when I tried to delete one, it deleted both. So I knew, okay, this is not meant to be, but it was a great test because I was like, I don't want to share it because I feel like so low and I'm not on my best energy. But I was like, no, but the message is so pure and powerful that I want to share it. But yeah, that was the lesson. So, what happened yesterday? Tell me if you felt it. You probably felt it for sure, especially if you had Scorpio placements in your chart. You felt it for sure. Like yesterday was a very intense slow down energy, slow down day. So why? Because Venus and Mercury got together in Scorpio. Okay, so it was a one time only event in a way because they got the closer that they will be, at least in the next times. What happened exactly was that Venus is in her movement, which will go to Sagittarius in the 1st of December. So it's in the final degrees of Scorpio. Mercury, as we know, has been retrograde in Scorpio. When we have a retrograde, it doesn't mean that the planet actually stops or is going backwards, but it slows down the movement so much that it almost looks like it is going backwards. So it's a very slow, introspective movement. So what happened is that Mercury going backwards, Venus going forward, they met at this point where they were 1 degree apart. The day before yesterday 3 degrees, today 3 degrees, but yesterday 1 degree apart. So it felt like a standstill because Venus represents also our desire for life, our thirst for life and all of that. So Venus got slowed down by this mercurial aspect. We can call it mental aspect. We can call it some expression aspect. And in Scorpio, it's related to our shadows. It's related to our toxic habits, to our addictions, to all of that. So, tell me in the comments below if you felt this. And many people I talked to did it in different ways. Like, for instance, let's say you got called to eat something that is not good for you, and then you felt terrible after. And then you purged. Or let's say that you sent a message to your toxic ex, and then you went to meet this ex, and then, oh my god, you felt so bad after that you fully regret it. So all these are possibilities. Of course, you will know which one is for you. But what I was saying in this video is that this was the final purge before we fully move forward. So this week represents kind of this final purge where whatever was not, let's say, purified yet, because we've been doing this purification process since the sun is in Scorpio, or was in Scorpio, until Venus leaves Scorpio. So whatever was not purified came to be purified yesterday and in the next days. I would say until Venus enters in Scorpio, in Sagittarius, or even Mercury, but especially Venus, and that will happen next week. Okay, so good news! Things are getting a little bit lighter. But yeah, so this was totally necessary because if you don't go to the hurting point, how will you know if it's still hurting or not? So the same, I can share my case. I was doing an amazing detox the past weeks and so good, eating well, taking good care, feeling amazing. And then yesterday I was like, oh my god, what should I eat? Like trying to be very picky about food, and then in the end I ended up eating something that was terrible for me, and I had a strong purge. So that was a great lesson because I saw, okay, definitely I cannot eat this type of foods anymore. So yeah, this is how we learn sometimes, and especially if you have Scorpio placements. I like to talk for Scorpio placements because I think you get my message. And it's because we do heavy purifications, we do strong cleanses, we are here to do strong purges. So with this Scorpio sometimes comes compulsion, sometimes comes addiction, and many of us maybe were there or are there. I was there when I was younger, dealing with addiction, addictive behaviors. I was trying to escape. So, and why do you try to escape, or why do you go into this compulsion? Because in the end you want to transcend whatever you feel. You pray for something more. You want to feel, you want to be felt, but you just don't know how. So that's the kind of the highway, but highways are expensive and you don't enjoy the journey. So that's not the way. But still, it's never like, okay, all or nothing. No, that's the Scorpionic way of doing things. But what we are being called to do also with all the waters that we have is to do things in a more gentle way, is to be compassion, is to learn that yes, sometimes you take one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back, and it's okay. You don't have to take 10 steps forward because then you might take 20 back. So progress, sometimes you cannot see that you are progressing, but you are, okay? And progress is not that visible, because if you are doing the work but it's on an everyday basis, you cannot fully see it, but it's being done. So trust yourself, trust the process, and yeah. So Mercury is going direct on the 30th. Saturn is also going direct in 2 days, which is very good. So a little bit chill. And yes, Saturn in the retrograde in Pisces was also finishing this cycle. Pisces again rules our subconscious, talks about our dreams, about our visions, and also our tendencies in a way, and our beliefs on a more internal level. While Virgo will be the everyday life, physical health, Pisces is much more mental health, emotional health, everything. It's not seen. So taking good care of our health, it's so important. Taking good care of our mental health, it's even more important. And through the Pisces, some tendencies of escaping are there many times, living in different universes, in different worlds, to not face reality. So being stuck in the dream. So this is what happened during this Saturn in Pisces. We saw lots of mental illnesses, or no, I would not call it mental illnesses, but disorders coming up to the surface. Also like delusions, all of these. That's why the opposite is Virgo, to keep us grounded. And now Saturn doing the retrograde movement in Pisces was tying up the loose ends. So wherever we were still trying to escape, whatever we were still trying to avoid, whatever we were being delusional about, just got even more clear, and we got the chance to fully work on these illusions and to learn the thin lines between imagination, illusion, and where is the healthy balance in all of this. Because it's not like don't imagine, because it's through your imagination that you can create and manifest new worlds, but also don't lose touch with reality. So yeah, so this is going back into a direct movement. So Saturn is a karmic teacher, so we were closing karmic chapters in what's regarding to this. And also because it's from the Pisces that we manifest, because it's in the imagination. So of course, like if you are able to imagine you having an amazing life, you can make that happen. If your imagination is limited to what you already know, then that was the work here, was to broaden it a little bit more. Because if you say like, oh, oh, I would love to be a doctor, but I can never be a doctor. I don't know, I think about this. Yes, you can be a doctor if you want to be a doctor. You can. You always have a choice. And yes, sometimes people don't want to hear that they have a choice because they prefer to put responsibility on someone else and not have to take the responsibility. But that's not how it works. And if you want to take your power back, then you also have to assume responsibility for your choices. So yes, I know it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but here we are. So yeah, Venus entering Sagittarius on the 1st of December. So this is forward movement. So that's why I said this week was the final purge, and then we just start. The movement is just going upwards and upwards, and Mars is also there, Sun is also there. We have a direction. So if we know where to go, then everything is working. And this week, all the aspects were mostly focused on Venus. Of course, there are many aspects, but I focused on the ones related to Venus because this is what we've been working on. And yeah, of course, that I felt the slowdown was because of the cross between Venus and Mercury, but also Venus was trining Jupiter retrograde yesterday, and no, sorry, today, and trining Saturn tomorrow. So I feel like this, because they are all both retrograde, are all lessons in a way. Jupiter is our guru, Saturn is our karmic teacher. So we are learning so much right now with whatever is being presented to us in our daily lives. And of course, if you are asleep in your daily life and just on the same loop and you don't observe, then you will not know the answers. And this doesn't mean like you have a 9 to 5 job or not, okay? Being asleep is not related to the amount of time you work in your daily life. It is related to the awareness you have towards your daily life. Yes, so some people call it delusional, some people call this, some people call that, whatever. We call it whatever we want to call it. But yeah, it's important to be aware because life is happening for us, and all the things that are happening or situations that are repeating are important, and everything is from the inside to the outside. Yes, it is. So why not being aware, right? If something keeps repeating, maybe it's something you have to look. And it's okay, we are here for that. We are here for evolution, so it's part of the experience. I don't know why. Okay. So yeah, then opposition, like a right opposition between Venus and Uranus, right before Venus enters Sagittarius, because it will be in the 29th degree. So yeah, closing a cycle, and it's pulling in different directions, and Uranus is fast, but Taurus is slow, and Venus in Scorpio is all or nothing. So I feel like we are already feeling this a little bit, especially what happened yesterday. So it's a journey. I like to bring the exact day of the aspects, but it doesn't mean that before or after we aren't feeling it already. But yeah, when we deal with Uranus, we deal with unpredictable. So we don't know what's going to happen on this day specifically, or on these days. But yeah, I would say it can be shady, it can be intense, but it can also be very beautiful. Depends on how we choose to look into things, depends on how we choose to face reality. And that's the thing, it's the choice, okay? Because if you are in the loop of being the victim, you can expect things to happen that make you a victim more and more and more. If you choose to take responsibility, then you can definitely see things in a different way, okay? And this day can also has the potential to be like dreamy in a way, because there is also a trine with Neptune. So Neptune, we know it comes with this fog, this illusion, with inspiration, So yeah, I would say something like unexpected events, unexpected feelings, unexpected messages, things that might trigger you in the sense of, let me give a practical example. Let's say suddenly you receive a message from someone you haven't talked in a very long time, and this was like full of promises and dreams and wow, and I will be waiting for you when you come back, something like that. And you are like, yeah, you can choose to be like, yeah, my God's gonna be waiting for me when I come back. Oh. Or you can be more like, okay, let's see if he's really gonna be there waiting for me when I come back. So this is just the example, but it's this type of thing, okay? And of course, we can see it in so many different ways, but I would be here all day if it was to talk about this. Last aspect that I wanted to mention of the week, after Venus entering fully Sagittarius, will be a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. And yes, so sextiles are also like, yeah, let's go together, let's work together. It has that vibe. And Pluto in Aquarius, we know where we have been knowing, and I say this in almost all the videos where it's taking us. So this is just like a push. I feel like this is like a push. Okay, go, 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 girl, go, girl. Just imagine if there is a force that is like there to you and just pushing you to go toward the direction where you want to go. And yes, we are entering 2026 very soon. 2026 is a year one, so it will bring lots of change, lots of new things. The transits of Saturn and Neptune in Aries will come back. Uranus will go back into Gemini. So all of these new age, we see it's already there. But there are so many different ways we can look at it. And of course, it's important to be grounded in reality and know what's going on, but also know that your life is not dictated by what others say. Okay, and take this as you wish. So this is what I have for you today, and I see you soon. Bye.